हाय सलाम नमस्ते एवरीबडी। मैं हूँ वृंदा हयात वैद एंड यू आर वाचिंग दिस ऑन माय यूट्यूब चैनल। आज मैं पोइट्री नहीं करने वाली हूँ फॉर अ चेंज। इट हैज़ बिन आई थिंक अबाउट अ ईयर कि मैंने जो पढ़ रही हूँ अपार्ट फ्रॉम कविताएं और शायरी वो मैंने शेयर नहीं किया है। तो मैंने अभी कल रात को ही एक किताब ख़त्म की है और उसके बारे में मैं इंस्टाग्राम पर भी बातचीत कर रही थी, उसकी फ़ोटो डाल रही थी और ख़त्म करने का इंतज़ार कर रही थी. सो आई वॉज वेटिंग व्हेन आई विल फिनिश इट एंड देन आई विल ऑब्वियसली पुट इट ऑन यूट्यूब. एंड इट्स वन ऑफ दोज बुक्स विच आफ्टर अ वेरी लॉन्ग टाइम आई हैव फिनिश्ड इन अ वेरी short span of about 10 days, because this is a heavy load book, which is why 10 days is what it took me to finish it. Also because I'm researching on something and this book happens to be a part of that bundle of research for that particular project. तो किताब का जो नाम है वो है Behind Bars and it's Prison Tales of India's Most Wanted. It's written by Sunetra Chaudhary and it is absolute heavy load of research and interviews that she's done in this book. And of course it is about the most sensational criminal cases in the history of the Indian penal code and the history of the Indian law. And this is a book it's a recommendation that I would want to give to everybody who is not just, it's a heavy book to just put in a trigger warning or to just, give in a sort of a trivia about this, because it's not for any average reader. You either need to be interested in the subject of criminology and the Indian Penal Code, or you just have to be some way interested in the stories that are covered in this. And they're not just stories, they're real life stories. So it's not like हम किसी फिल्म की बात कर रहे हैं और वो फिक्शन है. These are things that have happened to folks in our society. These are also cases that you might have followed through your times. A few of those cases were stuff that I had encountered in my teenage years, stuff that I had tried and followed through those years, but because of my limited knowledge and because of a certain sense of fear also, I wasn't able to pursue these cases. It has the Nirbhaya case. It's not about just crimes committed. But the great work that Sunetra Chaudhary has done in this book is that she's given every angle involved in a particular crime. Although ये stories जो हैं ये उन crimes को cover करती हैं, कुछ 8 या 9 crimes हैं जो कि Indian law में आज तक के सबसे heinous crimes है, but this basically encircles around everything that becomes a part of a criminal investigation of the prison that these criminals inhabit. जनरली मैक्सिमम सिक्योरिटी प्रिजन जो है वो तिहाड़ जेल है जो दिल्ली के हरिनगर में है. वहीं पर ही सब सेंसेशनल केसेस जो हैं उनके क्रिमिनल्स को दर्ज किया जाता है, वहीं पर वो रहते हैं. सो इट्स नॉट जस्ट अबाउट दोज क्राइम्स, इट्स ऑल्सो एन इंसाइट इनटू द लाइव्स ऑफ दीज क्रिमिनल्स व्हेन दे लिव इन तिहाड़ जेल. तिहाड़ जेल के बारे में हमने बहुत चीज़ें सुनी हुई हैं एज पीपल हु cannot enter those restricted premises. Reformation, prison in the Indian society is about reformation. It is not a place where you are punished, although this is what is the general notion के जेल जाना मतलब कि वहाँ पर आप सज़ा काटने जाते हैं. पर वहाँ पर आप सिर्फ सज़ा काटने नहीं जाते हैं. prison in the Indian legal system is about being a reformational space. वहाँ पर आपको रिफॉर्म करने की पूरी कोशिश की जाती है ताकि आपके अंदर के जो एंटी सोशल एलिमेंट्स हैं वो निकल कर जब आप उन सलाखों के पीछे से बाहर निकलें, इट्स ईजियर फॉर यू टू लिव अ लाइफ. So these are the very small but very important details that are covered in this book. Like I told you, the story is not just through the angle of the criminal, which usually is the case because such books tend to fall under the sensational category of books, but this is one book that stands apart. इस पर वैसे भी ज़्यादा किताबें हैं नहीं. मैं कल ही सर्च कर रही थी और मैंने 2 और किताबें मंगवाई है क्योंकि मेरे रिसर्च का काम है वो. लेकिन the fact that this book has been written so beautifully beautifully, not as a very rosy term, but it forms a circle and it gives us a complete 360 eye bird's view of what happens when a crime is committed. उसकी कितनी तहें होती हैं, उसके कितने सच होते हैं, उसके कितने झूठ होते हैं जो हमें प्रस्तुत किए जाते हैं सत्य के तौर पर. तो इसलिए ये बुक बहुत ज़रूरी भी है पढ़ना. और बहुत सारे ऐसे केसेस हैं जो कि अब तक सेंसेशनलाइज्ड हैं. जेसिका लाल का केस है, आरुषि तलवार का केस है, कसाब 26/11 की बॉम्बिंग जो हुई थी बम्बई में, वो केस है. बहुत सारे सेंसेशनल केसेस हैं जो कि जब आप पढ़ेंगे आपको रियलाइज़ होगा that there are so many more facets to what we've seen on the news and the TV, and what the police has sort of investigated and brought to the public foray. So I would really recommend this book. It's a book that you must read if you're even a bit interested in criminology, or understanding why crimes are committed. There is a section on how corruption seeps into the system, why corruption seeps into the system, why is the police, especially the Delhi police, so absolutely badly named for the kind of work that they do, why are usually cases transferred from the police, from the state police to the CBI, क्यों होता है ऐसा, क्या fault lines, क्या loopholes होते हैं. So I think बहुत बात कर ली मैंने इसके बारे में. So there is maybe one section, मैंने clip notes लगाए हुए हैं तो मैं ये read करके आपको सुना देती हूँ. There is one chapter on a transgender woman and how she was raped and how she was assaulted in the prison. मतलब जेल के premises के अंदर उसका assault हुआ है, और क्यों आज तक उसका assault हुआ था उसके सारे evidences के बावजूद FIR तक नहीं हुई कि उसका assault हुआ था, despite having all evidences, despite police giving all evidences themselves. Khushi wasn't an aging guru. Neither had she been cast out by her biological family. The transgender community is full of stories of abandonment by parents, of beatings or confinement, as parents or siblings realize that the trans person isn't conforming to their ideas of sexual norms. But Khushi, who was born as an intersex, that is without typical male or female genitalia, defied these trends. She still lived with her mother and sister, worked the night shift at a dance bar in Mumbai. She says, my mother brought me up as a boy, but I was like a girl otherwise with all my mannerisms. I studied till class 12th in a school in Ghatkopar. In school, everyone knew I was a little effeminate and I was ragged, but I faced all that. I would listen to it but not be bothered by it. The struggle was compounded by her economical status. Her father was a driver and earned 5,000 rupees, which was never enough. Being different in a lower middle class family makes life even more difficult. But from the beginning, Khushi found an outlet in dancing. There were no lessons, but just as some trans persons opt for sex work as a viable option for sexual autonomy and financial independence, Khushi discovered that in dancing. And then there continues to... So this is why what happened to her क्योंकि उसका familial background इतना कमज़ोर था. और अक्सर हमारे system में क्यों गुर्बत और गरीबी को बोला जाता है, that poverty in itself is... it's a crime, because in the society that we live in the hierarchy that we live in, if you're born poor and you've not done anything, poverty is your crime. So very, very, very nuanced writing, absolutely beautiful. Research के लिए तो बहुत ही ज़्यादा अच्छी किताब है ये, तो इसलिए ये मेरे पापा की किताब थी, उन्होंने 2017 में ली थी. I just landed upon it in Delhi and I just got it back to Bombay with me and I read it. I'm going to reread it also, and I've gotten 2 more books. वो भी जब आ जाएंगी मैं पढ़ लूँगी, वो भी आप लोगों के साथ साझा करूँगी. Thank you so much for watching this. This is also available in हिंदी. मुझे नहीं पता कि ये अंग्रेज़ी में अभी अवेलेबल है या नहीं है. हिंदी में मैंने देखी थी उर्दू बाज़ार पर, तो उसका लिंक मैं नीचे डाल दूँगी. और 10% ऑफ का कुछ कोड चल रहा है मेरा, उन्होंने कुछ कोड दिया हुआ है, वो भी मैं डाल दूँगी, so that you can not just get a 10% off on this, but any book, English, Hindi, Urdu, Punjabi, आप वहाँ पर जाकर सर्च कर सकते हैं. So thank you so much for watching this video. I hope this recommendation is something that you find useful, and do subscribe to the channel. मैं हूँ वृंदा हयात वैद. My Instagram is given below. Thank you so much for watching in. Bye.